At last I was off on another adventure. I did all my packing, or at least what I thought was all my packing, the night before. But as always, there was a million other things I needed to organise the next morning before I felt comfortable that I had remembered everything. I didn't manage to leave the house until 11:30, and with a lot of kilometres in front of me, I was already beginning to feel a little anxious about the day ahead. Literally 10 minutes after I'd set off, I had to stop and double check everything again, dropping my earplugs in the process, something later I would dearly miss after several hours of riding. Making my way through the city, I headed towards Tooloom, past the old Castlemaine Forex Brewery, before having to make the first of many unscheduled stops to reset the GoPro. This would prove to be a constant chore throughout the trip, causing further delays and much frustration. Finally, I was on the big slab, making my way towards Boonah. At last, progress, or so I thought. Having passed Peaks Crossing, about a kilometre out of town, I ran out of petrol and had to double back and fill up. My last fill-up was only partial, but I reset my odometer anyway, causing it to give me the impression I still had miles to go before empty. I won't be doing that again. More delays. Eventually, I made it to Boonah, a neatly kept country town with views of the Great Dividing Range. Finally hitting the dirt at Carneys Creek Road. The traffic was heavier than usual, as the sealed bypass is closed to all but local traffic. At last, I could feel the adventure had really begun. There really are some spectacular views to be had here of the Great Dividing Range. But GoPro troubles once again brought things to a halt. So I've had to make another unscheduled stop because for the second time the GoPro stopped working. So I'm now on Carneys Creek Road heading towards White Swamp. So I'll take this opportunity to just check the map and pinpoint my next destination en route to Rocky River, and also take a pee. The road had recently been regraded, no doubt to cope with the additional traffic. It was a pleasure to ride, and with the sunlight streaming through the trees, it was picture perfect. Carneys Creek Road eventually turns into White Swamp Road, leading you to the tiny town of Carneys. take a short detour to check out Kurilla Campground. Nicely spread out sites. I think I'll come out here one day for a quick getaway. White Swamp Road eventually becomes sealed, and I approach the junction of Mount Lindsey Road, where I stop to get my bearings and, of course, reset the GoPro. Heading southwest on Mount Lindsey Road, I'll turn off at Tooloom Road. At Tooloom, I can get onto Paddys Flat Road, which is mostly dirt all the way until the B60 at Tabulum. From there, I'll head west towards Drake, where I can turn off at Long Gully Road and join Rocky River Road. Leaving Tooloom Road, I eventually turn off onto Paddys Flat Road, which quickly turned into dirt and proved to be the most challenging part of the trip so far, with its winding, twisting, uphill turns and loose rocky surface. It was beginning to get late in the day, and by now I was conscious that daylight was running out. I could feel the urgency in me rise. I still had kilometres to go, yet alone find somewhere to camp. Wrong turn, I'm sure. I stop to quickly check the map. Other way. Course corrected, and with the sun edging lower in the sky, I found myself meandering down into the valley below. This section of road was really fun and offered some great views. Wish I had the time to relax and enjoy it just a little more.
This picture, no matter how I change the lines, I'd rather have you right here closer. I'd rather have you in my mind. No matter how I call this progress, no matter how I change the lines, I'd rather have you right here closer.
Crossing the Clarence River over an old rickety bridge, I passed Paddys Flat campground. If I were a smarter man, I should have ended the day here and enjoyed the remaining daylight to relax by the river and wind down after what has been so far a quite stressful ride. But no, I was determined to make it to Rocky Creek Road before sundown, as that was my goal when I left Brisbane. With time against me, I hastily rode on for what seemed an eternity, until I started passing cars. A sign of civilization lay ahead, indicating that Paddys Flat Road was nearing its end. Eventually, I was spat out onto the Brisbane I, the B6. Only 30 kilometres to go until I reach Rocky River Road. I sure hope no suicidal kangaroos spring out and surprise me. With about an hour's left of usable daylight, I reached Long Gully Road, which eventually turns into Rocky River Road. At last I could sense the end of a long day was in sight, but I still was apprehensive about finding a suitable place to camp before sunset, so I raced on. Long Gully Road turned into a dirt road, which then turned into Rocky River Road. Finally, the last leg of the day seamlessly began. I was left wondering when I would catch my first glimpse of the Timbarra River. Yes, I know it's not actually called Rocky River. The river would mean possible campsites lay ahead, the last remaining concern of the day.
I ran away from the Queen of LA. I wrote a song when I had nothing to say, like this one. This one. Follow the river to the edge of the sea. I kissed the water and it made me complete, like this one. This one. We experience death in life. We try to fly, we never let go. It's the only way. It's the only way. Broken nights can love again. Over they go. 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 I told a lie, I think I wanna believe. Woke up to find that I was stuck in a dream, like this one. This one. I climbed a mountain and it taught me to breathe. I saw my life be on the top of a tree, like this one. This one. We experience death in life. We try to fly, we never let go. It's the only way. It's the only way. Broken nights can love again. Over they go. 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 gonna break so tragic. That's the funny thing about magic. You make one little wish and grab it, but they're still gonna take their half it. Hearts are
I
gonna
spot a
break
track
so
leading off the road toward the river. Maybe I could camp here. Nope. So I turned around and carried on. A short time later, as if by magic, a free and open campsite presented itself to me. Thank the maker. It seemed like I had struck gold, and all my anxiety left in an instant, only to be replaced by new challenges, setting up camp and getting a fire going before dark. Well, I finally made it, viewers. That was an arduous journey with multiple happenings with the GoPro. You can hear the wildlife's quite active here. This is obviously common land because there are several people camped here along Rocky River Road. I did stop at another spot further on back, but that was just a bit of a road leading in, so I'm glad I actually made the effort just to, actually it was only like 5 minutes further along to find this spot. I'm sure there's nicer spots along here, but it's gone 5 o'clock now, and if I don't get set up and settled, I'll be in trouble, and I've got to find firewood as well, so I'll speak to you later. Well, as you can see, I've got a good fire going. I've eaten, it's been a real rush, by the time I got onto Rocky River Road, it was already like 4:30. So many stops and starts and delays getting here. I was really stressed out, and I was worried that I wasn't going to find a spot to set up camp, and it would be dark by the time I did, and a bit stressful. But I got here, found this campsite, and I didn't do any video recording because both of my batteries on the GoPro have run out, and I just needed to get my tent set up and sorted out, and just have a coffee and relax and try and calm down. So I did that, and then thought about getting a fire together and some food. So finally, the end of the evening. It's about 7:30 now. I'm very happy that I managed to get a fire going, because the wood's a bit damp and it's a bit scarce here, as well as because obviously there's a few other campers here have probably already collected a lot of the wood that's around, disappearing because the fire's going down. I need to poke it. But yeah, the wood was a bit damp, so it took a long time to get it going, building it up slowly, bit by bit. But I managed to get it going, and I found a couple of big logs that should see me through the evening. I've got a couple of beers, and I'm really glad I bought those. I'm really glad. So hopefully I can just chillax now by the fire. It's a beautiful night, very clear. There's a moon out, nearly a full moon too. So there you go. The day was complete, and I settled into the quiet solitude by the fire, in my happy place, with beer in hand. Tomorrow was another day, and surely a better day, one hopes.